Are you looking to take advantage of the LeadBlitz lead stream setup, but you're also a very collaborative team, meaning you want to have one database that everybody has access to? Well, great news. You can certainly take advantage of the LeadBlitz style lead stream in a networked account. Now, for those of you who have not watched all of the other videos, and believe me, I recommend that you go back and watch them all because this lead stream training module is all designed to build on itself, and you're going to learn things in one that you're going to take and use in other trainings and other types of lead streams. But for those of you who haven't been watching them, a LeadBlitz is a style of a lead stream that will notify every team member that's a part of that lead stream whenever a new lead comes into the stream, and giving everybody a chance to claim that lead. And then whoever's fastest to claim the lead is the one who gets the lead, and then of course you call it and make all the money, right? And with a networked account, we use one database, which is different than a standalone. The most common setup for PhoneBurner is standalone, where every team member has their own database and you don't have to worry about anybody stepping on each other's toes. So we're going to be talking about networked account, where everybody shares the same database, and LeadBlitz. So let's get into the training. So here we are in the admin account. To access lead stream, in a standalone, we would typically go to contacts and then we'd click on the gear over on the right. But with a networked account, we hide the lead stream options from the navigation, because typically with networked, most of the time those people are not using lead stream at all. So it's just been hidden from the view. That will probably change in the near future. But for those of you who are looking at this right now and you're not able to access lead stream, I would recommend that you save it as a quick link. So here you can see I've got lead stream saved into my quick links. If you would like to do this and you have not saved it yet, then you can always just go to phoneburner.com/rotator/index and then save that as a quick link. But here from lead stream, I'm going to go ahead and click on add lead stream. And I'm going to enable this lead stream, and I'm going to call this networked LeadBlitz, and then a description. Add a little description, and then I'm going to choose LeadBlitz as the type, and then I need to choose my distribution folder. What is the distribution folder? The distribution folder is the folder that we put the data in that becomes available in this lead stream. So I'm going to create a new folder for this. Networked LeadBlitz. Hit OK. And for the receiving folder, I'm going to go ahead and set the receiving folder to be networked LeadBlitz RCV. For those of you who've been watching the videos, that's very common. I could also leave the receiving folder blank and let each rep kind of pick and choose what receiving folder they want to set it to. But I'm going to go ahead and set this to networked LeadBlitz RCV. And I could lock it in. I'm not going to lock it in, especially since we're a very collaborative team. I want to give each team member a little bit of control over how they want to manage that. Recycling folder. Do I want to recycle? I don't know. Probably not necessarily with a LeadBlitz, but it could make sense to recycle a LeadBlitz lead stream, not back into itself, but maybe into an aged lead stream, a nurturing lead stream. But in this particular case, I'm not going to do any recycling. Once somebody takes a lead from this LeadBlitz, they're in charge of it, and I want them to work that lead. And we'll talk about how they can work that lead and how they should manage that lead in their PhoneBurner account once they've claimed it. Sorting by custom field is going to be irrelevant, hopefully, because if you're doing LeadBlitz style lead streams, you really shouldn't have a lot of data sitting in there. And so sorting them shouldn't really matter, right? You should be claiming, you should be taking those leads out of there as soon as they come in. So we shouldn't have to do anything there, and we shouldn't have to hide the totals because the totals should be 0, unless, of course, something just came in. And then we're going to click Next, Add Recipients. Here, we're going to go ahead and add our team members. You could potentially put lead limits on them. You could set receiving folders here if you wanted to on a per rep basis. That could make sense. Like if Jeff is going to be taking leads from this LeadBlitz, we could set it up so that every lead that he takes goes into his leads folder. In which case, if we're going to do unique receiving folders for each individual, then we would want to add each person one at a time, right? And then we could put a daily lead limit, right? If it's LeadBlitz, that means these must be high quality leads, and we may not want to have one person that's taking all of the leads, that's just sitting in there and grabbing every fresh lead that comes in, right? But the idea is you don't want fresh leads sitting, so you don't want to put limits on a lead stream and then have everybody hit that limit and then new leads coming in that nobody can get notified about and start working. Now granted, we're networked, so they could always go into the folder and see them, but you know, the whole idea is to not have them go and chase down and find leads. So it's up to you whether or not you want to put lead limits in there. I'm going to set a limit on each of these as I add them, just because I want you to see how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and add Heather now. Let's say Heather is going to put hers into the Heather's leads. We're going to put a daily lead limit of 2. Actually, let's do 1 for Heather. And then Cassie, receiving folder, Cassie's leads, and a lead limit of 5, right? You can do it different for each rep, depending on who you want to have claiming more out of the lead stream. So here we go. We have our team members added. We could, of course, make changes to these team members if we wanted. We could lock that receiving folder if we didn't want them changing it. But again, we want to talk about flexibility in this specific lead stream. So we're going to talk about how they can change it and adjust it. So we're going to close that. Obviously, we can pause or stop people from being active on this lead stream at any point using the little stop buttons here. So now we have our team members. If we go to leads, we will see the networked LeadBlitz lead stream listed here. And of course, there are 0 leads available because we just created it with a brand new distribution folder. We want to turn on in-app notifications in this particular case. That way, we'll get notified. And so you'll want to log in. I would recommend doing this as an admin. Just logging in as each user. Go into their leads tab. Go into that lead stream and enabling in-app notifications. So I'm just going to go do that for each of our team members. All right, so now that we have this set up, how does this really work, right? It's really simple. Whenever a new lead is added to the lead stream, this LeadBlitz lead stream, the system is going to notify everybody in the application in this upper right-hand corner of the page. So let's go ahead and return to the admin account, and let's do something here. So in the admin account, it doesn't really matter if I'm in the admin account at this point because it's just one database, but let's go in here. Let's actually move a contact from another lead stream into this lead stream. That's not typically how this would work, right? You would have contacts either added via the API or through something like Zapier, or you'd have a lead vendor that's posting data into that specific folder. But you know, we're going to go ahead and just manually move somebody over. So let's move a contact in. When we move that contact in, you'll see that the system will notify all of the accounts that a new lead is available. So here you can see that new lead is available. We see what lead stream it's a part of, what state that contact is in, because I imported state information. I see the vendor information, and then the first person to claim it is the one who takes it out of the pool. And so what happens when I actually claim it, right? So everybody would be getting notified at the same time, and whoever claims it would take that lead out of the lead stream, and that notification would disappear for all other users. Let's go ahead and allow. And by default, the system is going to call that contact right away. If they connect, talk to them, right? And they should be ready to connect, right? Because they just filled out a form. Ideally, that's how it would work, right? The lead is delivered in real time or shortly after they've completed some form online. And then we want to get on the phone with them as quickly as possible. You have your call with them, and then you're able to disposition that call. Let's say I connected with this person and they want to follow up. So if I click on follow up, this specific disposition is configured to force me to set a follow-up date. So I need to set a follow-up date and confirm. Once I do that, this contact will be updated in my specific phone burner account. So let's actually go to, actually he would have gone to the follow-ups folder, right? Because we've configured the follow-ups folder, the follow-up disposition to move contacts into the follow-up folder. So here you can see that lead went from the Jeff leads folder, which is where he went when I claimed the lead. And then I dispositioned him, he went into the follow-ups folder, and since I clicked on a disposition that had the Jeff tag on it, he's now tagged to me as well. So as you can see, a LeadBlitz style lead stream can really help your organization, even in a networked account, to really quickly reach out to your contacts, to increase that efficiency, especially if you don't have a lot of live leads coming in all the time. Like if these are coming in onesies and twosies and your team might be working on different things throughout the day and not necessarily in one lead stream all day long, I would recommend having a LeadBlitz style lead stream so that everybody can get notified when that new fresh lead is there so that you can reach out to them right away. So anyway, one last thing here. If for whatever reason, when you get that lead and you call them, if you need to make changes to this record, you've got the record right in front of you. So if you need to manually add a tag, you can do that. If you need to manually remove tags, you can do that. You can manually move the contact from one folder to another, right? So ideally, everything would be handled in a disposition, but it doesn't have to be in this LeadBlitz style, right? Because you're always going to be taken to the full record. And if you don't want to initiate a call, maybe you just want to claim the lead and be able to review the lead and then either do click to call or launch a dial session, just reach out to us, let our team know, and we can actually update your account so that we don't automatically start calling that contact as soon as you claim them. So there's lots of options there. Just let us know what you're looking for. But ideally, you're going to be able to set this up out of the box and use it the way you want to use it. So just let us know how we can help you, and let's make sure that PhoneBurner is helping you and your team get more done in less time using the power of PhoneBurner. Thanks again, and happy dialing.